Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining this live event. Today, our Business Central Solution Architect, Sagar Mantri, will go through what's new in Business Central 2023 Wave 2 release. During this webinar, we will cover the following topics: application and functionality improvement, Copilot and AI innovation. If you have any questions during the webinar, please do not hesitate to use the question and answer section, and we will answer your question at the end of the webinar. I will now hand you over to Sagar, who will go through the presentation with you.
Thank you, Bisola, and welcome everyone to this session. So yeah, that's me. My name is Sagar Mantri. I have been working with Mercurius IT for last 7 years and currently serving as a solution architect. I'm working in Dynamics Navision and Business Central since last 13 years, both in technical as well as in functional domain. You have my email ID on the screen, so in case of any queries, you can reach me out here as well. Now, let's move to our agenda. So this will be our agenda. So we will start with consolidation in a different environment, which Microsoft has introduced in the current version. Then we will move out to the intercompany transaction across the environments. We will then see how to configure the different warehouse operations. Then we will go through one utility that Microsoft has provided in order to make navigation easier between the orders and the posted documents. Post that, we will see the use of General Ledger Allocations, the new feature that has been introduced by Microsoft. And at the end, we will talk about the Copilot thing. So without wasting any time, let's start with our first. Let's start with the overview first. So as many of you know, Business Central releases its two major versions, Wave 1 and Wave 2 every year. So Wave 2 usually is released in the month of October every year. So this release, which we called October 2023 Wave 2. In this particular release, Microsoft has majorly focused on inter-environment process simplifications. So how it is helping your organization and how it works, we will see in a minute. Then since last year or two, Microsoft has been putting its effort in the Copilot innovations as well. So some of the bits have been released by Microsoft on that front. So we will check that as well. And in this particular release, Microsoft has made improvements in the Microsoft Power Platform integrations as well. So this part we will not be covering in our today's sessions, but the first two we will be going through. So yeah, let's start with our first financial consolidation. So consolidation was introduced in the Business Central earlier, but the use of this was restricted to a single environment where you can do the consolidation between the companies in a single environment. With this release, Microsoft has introduced ability to work inter environments, and you can consolidate the companies from a different environment into a single consolidate company. Now, this particular feature is not only restricted to a single tenant. Now, tenant, what I mean by tenant is it's like an workspace which is provided to a entity, your organization's entity. So let's say if you have a two entities, one is situated in UK and one is in the US, so you will get a two different tenants. Okay, so that is what I mean by the tenant. So you can have connections between the two different tenants as well. Okay, so let's move to the demo. So here, as you can see, I have opened the three different environments. One is my production environment, one is my environment one, and one is my consolidation environment. Now, before moving further, I would like to show you one important setup that needs to be done in the business units. So when I go to business units and click on the setup, you see here, enable company as a subsidiary. This is enabled. So in order to consolidate any company, this particular setup is very much important. If this setup is not enabled, you will not be able to consolidate that particular company. And this environment API will be useful in your setup during the consolidation. Just to avoid like to speed up the process, I have already completed the setup part. So if I go to business units, you can see that I have set up the two different companies, E1 and Prod. E1 is my environment one company, as you can see. And if I see the data import details here, you can see that I had used the API here, and based on that API, company has been selected. Similarly, if I look for the prod here as well, the production API has been selected and it is pointing to a specific company in the prod. Okay. Once you are done with the setup, you have to click on this consolidate and you can give a date range. So I am currently selecting the December's date range here, December 2022. I will click on next. So as you can see, currently it is showing in red, which means I need to grant the access to these two companies. So I will just click on the grant access. And as all the setups are already done, it will allow me to grant access. Yeah, if you see, these are turned green. That means I have access to these companies now, and I will just click on finish. Once I click the finish, it will start the consolidation process, which might take a while, depending upon the data and the range of period you have provided. So as you can see here, the consolidation has been completed. Now let's verify the consolidation. For that, I will go to the trial balance report. And here I will use the same date range that I have used for the consolidation. So it was from 1st of December to 31st of December. Okay, and I will preview this one. So our report is ready, and as you can see, the entries are being consolidated. For simplification, I have taken the same amounts, like I haven't changed any value so that it will be easier to understand. So it has consolidated the values from E1 and prod, and at the end it has shown the sum of both these things. So quite useful feature for the finance in the organization. Let's move to the next topic, inter-environment intercompany transaction. Now, similar to the consolidation, intercompany transaction also exists since the Navision version. But again, like this was restricted to only a single environment across the companies. With this feature, you will be now able to perform the intercompany transaction between the different environments and again between the different tenants. Now, this particular feature will work for sales, purchase, general journal, and purchase invoice cost distributions. So let's have a demo of it. Close this one. So let's start with the setup. I will go to the intercompany setup first. Here, as you can see, I have already done my setup part here, and I have this IC partner defined. Now here, you will not be able to see like whether this particular corresponds to the same database or a different one. But like if you see here, you have this option to connect externally setup. This is newly introduced in a Business Center 2023 Wave 2 release. So with this button, you can actually connect to the different environment and a different tenant. Okay, so just to show you my settings, how I have connected. So see here, I have connected to the environment one here. Okay, and similarly, I have created another IC partner in the environment one where I am connecting to the prod environment. Okay, let's do one purchase transaction to understand like how it will work. And so other rest of the process of the intercompany remains same. It's just a change in the setup that has been added. So you can connect externally to the partner from other environment. Okay, so let's say I will call it demo, and I will select any item here. Want this item in yellow location and 10 quantities. Okay, that's it. So now I will release this particular order. This is released and I will send this order to intercompany transactions. So as you can see, the outbox entry has been created here. Let me go to intercompany outbox. And you can see the entry has been created in the outbox. After review, user can simply select send it to IC partner and carry out action message. And once this is done, this entry will be sent to my other environment. So I will move to my environment 1 and I will look in the inbox, intercompany inbox here. Don't see any entry here. Just let me see. Outbox. It has been moved from here. Okay, maybe some delay, but yeah, I can see the entry now. And here after review, I will just accept this particular entry and I will carry out the action. So once this action has been carried out, the sales order will get created in my environment 1. So if I go to the sales order, so here at the end, you can see my new sales order has been created. Now, how I identified that is, if you see the external document number, this is the same number of the purchase order number of my earlier document from the prod environment. So if I see here, this is my 106011 is my purchase order number, which has been assigned as external document number to my order. So rest of the process of all the intercompany remains same, as you can see. Okay, moving out to the next option or a feature, which could be useful, which will be useful for warehouse transactions. Now, till now, whenever we enable the advanced warehousing feature, that feature is enabled for all the activities or all the processes in the environment. So whether let's say it's a production consumption or a production output or any other, you can say you have to perform the warehouse activities. But in this release now, Microsoft has provided you a feature where it has given ability to users to select what activity they require during the warehouse operations for a specific actions or documents. So it's not necessary, like it always depends upon the business scenario that you do not need the warehouse operations on every activities. So considering that this feature has been released by Microsoft, so this particular feature will be applicable to production consumption, production output, assembly consumption, and job consumptions. So let's go back to our Business Central environment and I will show you how this feature works or how you can set up this particular feature. So here, let's say if I go to this warehouse location, I have enabled my advanced warehousing here. And here you can see the additional fields has been introduced in this setup. So these fields will help user to decide which warehouse activities they require in different operations. So let's start with the production consumption. So in the production consumption, Microsoft has provided the 4 options. No warehouse handling, warehouse pick optional, inventory pick, and warehouse pick mandatory. Now what all these options are? So if user selects no warehouse handling, so for the production consumption, the warehouse handling will not be required and user can simply work as a usual. Second option, warehouse pick optional. If user selects that, then user will have a freedom if he wants to post the pick or not. So it will be optional. The third will be the inventory pick and the movement. So in this case, if user select this option for the production consumption, then inventory pick or a movement will be required in this case. And the final option is warehouse pick mandatory. So as the name implies, if this option is selected, warehouse pick will be mandatory for any production consumption. So it will the fourth option will work as a normal one like it was used to be earlier. So the next is production output. So in this particular part, we have only two options available. Either user can have a no warehouse handling or inventory put away. So in this case, if user selects no warehouse handling, so at the time of posting the production output, no warehouse handling will be required. And if user selects the second option, at that point, inventory put away will be required. For the assembly and job, we have a similar options which are there for the production consumptions, like no warehouse handling, warehouse pick optional, inventory movement, warehouse pick. So depending upon the business scenario, user gets the freedom to select what they need. Okay, so that was about the warehouse operations. Then next one is a posted document navigations. So like as we all know, in the day-to-day basis, the employees working in the sales department or the purchase department have to go through the different sales document where they need to understand how many of these invoices are posted, what is their document number, or like they do wish to reprint the invoice and send it to the customer. So up till now, like we were having option to either navigate or the find entries, and through that like we a user has to navigate to the posted documents. Now with this release, Microsoft has added a small but a useful feature on the invoiced quantities, received or shipped quantities on the sales and purchase documents, from where like you can directly navigate to the posted documents. Now this feature will not only work on the sales order which are normally created, but also on the orders which user can create using either combined pick or get received document or get shipment document like that. So let's see how it will work. Let me just go to any sales order. I have recently posted one yesterday. I will just find out that. For the demo, yeah. If you see here, for this particular sales order, I had uh, 10 quantities requested, out of which I have supplied 2 quantities. So here I have shipped and invoiced the 2 quantities. The rest of them are not available with me, so I have kept them open. But now let's see if I want to see what purchase shipment has, sorry, sales shipment has been posted. So I can just hover on this particular quantity shipped field and I will click here. So it will give a lookup to the all posted sales shipment. And from here, I can directly navigate to that particular posted document. Similarly for the invoice, here as well, let's see if I click here, it will show me what invoice I have posted. And from here, I can simply click on the show document and it will be easier for the user to navigate using these fields. Okay, moving out to the next topic, that is a cost and revenue distributions. So like in the multiple scenarios for all the recurring expenses or a recurring financial postings may require that they want to distribute their postings between the cost and revenues. So up till now, like what user has to do is like segregate on their own how much cost has to be updated on each GL account of or under each head. But with this particular release, Microsoft has provided an ability to predefine this information, like how much they wish to post in the cost and how much they wish to post in the revenue account based on the different GLs and based on the dimensions. For this, Microsoft has introduced the allocation setup. We will look into that in a minute. Now, this document or this particular feature will be applicable on general journals, purchase journals, and sales journals. And allocation can be done based on either fixed amount or variable amount, which will be the balance or a net change amount of that particular GL, or a statistical accounts like a non-financial quantities you track through the statistical account features. Yeah, so let's look into the setup and we will try one posting as well, how it works. So I will look for the allocation accounts here. Okay, I have set up in environment one. So let's go to allocation accounts. So here I have defined one key called allocation key. And as you can see here, I have selected the two accounts. One is my revenue account, that is the sales, and second one is my expense account. And I have defined the shares. Like whenever I will use this particular allocation, how much should get posted in every account. So let's say if I have a transaction of £100, so 75 pounds will go to my sales account, sales of raw material, and 25 pounds will go to my electricity for rental. That will be my expense account. So let's see if that works well. So here I will go to general journal. I will create new document here, and here in the account type, if I drill down, I get additional option of allocation accounts. Okay, until now this option was not available, but since this release, I have this option of allocation accounts. I will select this one, and when I select this one, I get my all the allocation accounts that I have been set up. So currently I have only one, so I will select this one. And for this, let's say for simplicity, I will take £100, and balancing account will be my bank. And I will post this transaction. Just copy the document number. Okay, it is posted successfully, and let me find that document now. Okay, so this one is posted here, and if you see here, now first one, this is my expense account. So if I drill down here, it's electricity for rental, and as expected, 25 pounds has been allocated to this account, and 75 are allocated to the sales of raw material, that is my revenue account. So accordingly, like user can set up allocation key and can be reused multiple times, and multiple keys can be set up as per the requirement. Okay, so that was about allocation. Now, one of the interesting topic, that is Copilot and AI innovations. So Microsoft has recently started on introducing the Copilot and AI innovation features in the Business Central. Up till now, in the last last release, Microsoft has released a marketing text suggestion Copilot feature. And with this release, Microsoft has planned to release a Copilot feature for bank account reconciliation. This particular feature of a bank account reconciliation is not yet released, but it is planned for November 2023. So the demo of this will not be available for today, but we will go through the marketing text suggestion, how it works. But just to give you some idea how the bank account reconciliation will work. So whenever after releasing this feature, Microsoft has introduced the Copilot that will help to match the unmatched entries automatically based on the intelligence. And if it will also provide the justifications or some text to that, like how the different entries are matching, which are unmatched directly using the default feature. So this will really help users to identify the matching entries and work in a more efficient way for a bank reconciliation thing. So for now, let's see how the marketing text suggestion Copilot thing works. So here, like in order to enable these features, we have to go to feature management and enable from here. But this product description feature that has been enabled since version 23, which is the current version, wave 2 version. So as you can see, this one is enabled for all users. Okay, so I will just move to the item and select any item here. And here you can see a new fact box has been added called marketing text. Okay, now let me click on create with Copilot. So it will generate one text. As you can see, it has created one text for me that I can use for marketing. Now let's say I'm not happy with this text and I want some more suggestions. So what I can do, I can simply click here on edit. Here I have a multiple options available. Okay, so here if you see, I can select emphasize a quality. So what quality I would like to emphasize. Okay, just a moment. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I will click here on edit, more settings, and I can emphasize on the quality, which quality I want to emphasize, like power, elegance, reliability, like that. For now, I will not select anything. Then next option is tone of voice. Now, how I want my text should be, like, should it be very formal or it should be very casual or it should be creative or upbeat. Currently, the inspiring is selected. Now let's select the creative one. And format and length. How should be the format of the text and length? Whether it should be with a tagline or a paragraph or a tagline and a paragraph. So for now, let's select tagline and a paragraph. It is not available for now. Okay. So let's just select the tagline and create a draft. I will click on this button. So it has created suggestion based on this one. So let's say even I'm not happy with this one. So I can simply ask another one. So it will keep on creating a new one for you. And once you are happy with any particular marketing text, you can simply click OK. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. If I click OK, it will get updated in my marketing text. So this will make much the life of a user much easier by providing a useful information. So Copilot feature really will help. Okay, over to you, Bisola.
Thank you, Saiga, for that. I just wanted to say that if you are a Nav user contemplating upgrading to Business Central, we've got a fixed price upgrade offer for you. If you're interested, please contact Ahmed Matari, who's our sales director at ahmed.m@mercuriusit.com. But I will send all this information in an email to you later. So you can contact him then. If you have any questions, please, you can put that in the question and answer section now for Sega to answer. Okay. Please also feel free to visit our website, mercuriusit.com, to browse our other products and services which you may be interested in. And also, we have various webinars you can also browse and watch, and also tons of blog posts relating to this topic. So please feel free to visit our website at mercuriusit.com. I will also add a feedback form in the email I'm going to send to you later. I would appreciate it if you would kindly complete it for me. So that would help us when we're planning other webinars in the future. I can see there isn't any questions at the moment, but you can email ahmed.m@mercuriusit.com if you do have any question. I will be gladly answer your questions for you. So thank you so much for attending this live webinar. And if you need to book any demo or speak to Ahmed, please contact him at his email address I've already mentioned. Thank you for attending, and I will see you in the next webinar, and have a nice rest of your day. Thank you so much.